Alrighty, folks. It's Wednesday, December 29th, 2021. We are about to embark on a new year. Crazy, isn't it? It's time for a South Radiology Department huddle. Hope everybody had a great Christmas and hope everybody has a safe upcoming New Year's. I want to thank everybody for this current pay period right now. The volume is looking great. The staffing has been phenomenal. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate everybody coming together. Thank you so much. A couple of new processes to talk about. So let's get straight to it, okay? Let's get straight to it. First of all, as we always start, let's do some birthday shout outs. Let's do some birthday shout outs for December. We have Liz Tamez on December 7th. Happy belated birthday, Liz. And then we had Brianna, who celebrated a birthday last Monday on the 22nd. So happy belated birthday, Brianna. Brianna, you and my mother share the same birthday. All right, that's cool. And of course, I'm going to give a shout out to my baby girl, Cassie, who had a birthday yesterday, okay? I was meaning to do the huddle yesterday on her birthday, but time just got away from me, what have you. So nevertheless, those are the birthday shout outs for December. And then we got some birthdays coming up. Got some birthdays coming up in January. So we'll talk about that in the next department huddle, okay? All right. The hot topic right now. Folks, this is going to be in everybody's email. All right. It's a 2-page flyer. It's about the new CDC guidelines that Christus is adopting as far as testing. We're not testing unless you are symptomatic. Okay. So if you're symptomatic, or you got a fever, short of breath, the COVID hotline, folks, the 1-866 number will, after you're probably on hold for, a good 30 minutes to an hour, they will send you to the regional lab and get you tested in that regard. If you are not symptomatic, you do it at home tests, you are still required to come to work and okay, let me just read this word for word, okay, just so I can make sense of it and not misquote it. So due to the scarcity of testing for the COVID-19 virus in our communities, we will be relying upon symptoms identified by the associates. There will not be a requirement for testing or retesting. We feel confident that our current infection prevention practices work well to prevent the spread of the virus. They include universal masking, N95, folks, N95 in front of a patient, please. Okay, universal masking. Blah blah blah. That's why I said I was going to read this word for word. Hand hygiene, social distancing, and social distancing while eating. Okay, so be careful. That's a fine line. We've got to be careful, folks. Okay, so if you know you are COVID positive and you're not symptomatic, you come to work, mask up, hand hygiene. But if you're in the break room amongst your coworkers and you take your mask off and they take their mask off, we're not being responsible. We're spreading the virus. Okay, so. Great question earlier. Well, if we're not required to be retested, how do we know we're not COVID positive? No longer, I believe there's not a saying or a rule that you cannot perform your own self-test at home, and then you let your coworkers know in that regard. So more to come on that. So these are going to be scattered throughout the break room. Just to read up, they're also in your email, okay? So that's that. The other new process that I want to talk about is we're going to start for productivity purposes. You're going to see these signs throughout the department. So we are now going to input into Meditech the mnemonics of either Eric or Angela. Okay, so these are the mnemonics right there. If they will go either under Tech 2 or Tech 3 in that regard. So obviously, Tech 1 will be the person responsible for administering the test exam and what have you. If Angela brings you the patient, Angela's mnemonics go on Tech 2. If Eric takes the patient, Eric's mnemonic goes on Tech 3. So either one. If Eric just brings you the patient and goes and gets another patient, but you take your own patient back, well, he's only going to go on Tech 2. We cannot duplicate their mnemonics on Tech 2 or Tech 3 entries, okay? So please give them credit as much, because what's going to happen at the end of January, the first week of February, I'm going to run their productivities, sit down with them, and we're going to go over their productivities in that regards. Angela and Eric, that's why do the best you can. When Melinda leaves at 1, one RTA should not be the predominant one to always relieve Melinda. And so sitting up front from 1 to 4, y'all rotate those on a weekly basis, okay? So that way it can even out in terms of productivity. I stress to the technologists too, just because we have Angela or Eric at the front desk after 1 p.m. does not mean they are not available to transport. The front desk will survive. We will be okay. We have plenty of bodies circulating to see if there is a chest x-ray sitting on there. Usually after 1 o'clock, we're done with the outpatients and what have you. And ultrasound does a phenomenal job. Thank you so much, ultrasound, for working that front desk for us. I appreciate it. Who's the furthest? What department is the furthest from the front desk? CT. Y'all are too busy. I know if you're in CT, you got stroke alerts, you're just nonstop. I gotta say kudos to CT also. The volume has been phenomenal. So volume has been phenomenal in diagnostic too. We've been doing a lot of overlapping on the weekend shift. So folks, if you're available to cover blocks of 4 hours, let me know. Come talk to me. Let's look at the staffing schedule and let's get you on board and get you some overlap, okay? Our volume is just, we're there. And so don't hesitate to reach out to me. Little footnote, as far as, and this just came to me right now. For diagnostic technologists, code blues, we respond to code blues. Cardiac alerts, we do respond to cardiac alerts for a chest x-ray unless the patient has already had the chest x-ray. Because if a patient shows up for basically a chest pains and they get an EKG and it's positive for they're having an active heart attack, they're going to want to ship that person to Shoreline and they're going to want a chest x-ray, labs, and what have you. So cardiac alerts, I would say respond to. Code blues, respond to. Code whites, we are not required to respond to the code whites. We are not. Not every code white needs a chest x-ray. So just as a footnote, code whites do not have to respond. Rad techs do not have to respond to code whites. What else? That goes on there. We are officially done with the holiday schedule. We just did our holiday schedule for 2022. So thank you to everybody for choosing and picking, or by default, we placed you on one. So more to come on that. Schedules are out. Please double check me on the schedule. Y'all know my deal with the copy and paste. I love copy and paste. So schedules are out. They're updated and what have you. I believe that's all I have, folks. We are at the 7-minute and 43-minute mark. Ooh, 1,000 kudo points. Tanya Gooden was awarded 1,000 kudo points for the winner of the Ugly Sweater Contest. Dare I say she was the only participant who brought a sweater? It was so busy that day. We had a wonderful potluck in that regards, but she was awarded 1,000 kudo points. I've got to have a trivia question right now for 500 kudo points. And I'm drawing a blank. Ooh, I know. Okay, which month, out of the past 12 months, which month had the most associates who had the most birthdays? How's that, okay? So basically, I know the answer to that already. 1 out of 12, okay? Pick a month. Which associate had the most birthdays during what month? And the first one to text me that on the group chat, the first one correctly answers that will get 500 kudo points. Maybe we'll double it. We'll see. Alrighty, folks. Have a good afternoon. 9-minute mark. Talk to y'all later.